You're never alone. There's always someone or something around you. We're going to be talking about awareness today, right? You truly should pay attention at your surroundings. The people around you, the ground that you stand on, they all say something about your decision making, right? That's what we're here. We're here to talk about that because we're in this process of liberation. There are certain chains that we have allowed ourselves to put on ourselves, and that's what we're working on. We're working on breaking them one by one, and they're all in here. They're all mental limitations, obstacles that we have put in here. And one of the main keys to break those chains of thinking, the main key to open those locks is awareness. Something very interesting has been happening to me lately. I have been thinking louder. I promise you I created that. Whenever a thought that doesn't line up with what I want to do in my life pops up, the way I want to see somebody, the way I want to feel about my situation, like I hear it a bit louder. Is that weird? I hear that thought a bit louder. That's part of my creation because I don't even want one thought to go on challenge in my brain, especially if are the ones that I have to change. So how do we do that? How do we become aware? Well, we slow down a little bit. We decide to feel our hearts and our minds. We decide to let others speak, right? Because what happened is a lot of times we're so caught up in reacting that we don't respond. So the people around you, the people that are in your life that you place there, been giving you the clues all along. The way that you feel, been giving you the clues all along. The ground that you're standing on, been giving you the clues all along. Meaning, it tells you exactly what you have created for yourself. If you're not aware of that process, right? If you're not paying attention to what all of these are telling you, we're wasting data. If we're not paying attention, if we're not taking the time to observe the clues around us, to listen to what others are telling us, right? To taste the fruit of our labor, right? Then what are we doing this for? Remember, your creation goes where your attention goes, where your focus is. So if you're not paying attention to what's happening in your life, you're not aware of the people around you. Like I become aware even of my children, right? Whenever they try to guilt trip me on my little ones, try to get more out of life than they deserve at the time. They give me the sad eyes. They go like this and everything, please, right? But I'm paying attention to what people say, what they do. Why? Because that awareness, it's what my life is made out of. That's my creation. What's around me. When you're developing this awareness, you're going to have to pay attention to the people around you. But with practice, you start listening to yourself. Think about that situation a little louder. I don't know if that's going to be the process for everyone, but I know that that's been the process for me. Like I truly have gotten to the point where I can hear it clearly in my mind and the situations around me showing me what it is that I've created to myself. And that's when I can have fun with what's in front of me, right? So as you look at what's around you, you start seeing people's intentions. You start seeing that your creation is not what you want it or it is. So you have fun with it. You accept, damn, I created an empire, and you have fun with it. I'm going to read out of the Book of Awareness real quick. At first, we understood, all of us, the process of these creations. Somewhere along the way, we got a bit sidetracked. Though the process remains the same, our awareness, while in this realm, is temporarily hijacked. Now, let us place our attention in the place where all creation overlap, the place where language is of no need. It takes observation of everything around us to see truth in this. Children from a very early age, once the soul, mind, and body fully merge, decide to go on its own way. That's how early this progression takes place in this realm. But the dance for individuality and self expression has been there from the beginning. Even the seemingly powerless deep inside craves the freedom of expression. Why then suppress this innate necessity? What's the purpose of awareness? Why you want to see what's around you? Why you want to be able to understand and be aware of what's around you? Because there's an innate need for you to express yourself. When you have all of these other components getting in the way of self expression, we suffer. We suffer because now what we came here to do, which is to self express, it happens when the brain, the body, and the soul merge. That's when the soul enters the body, when the brain is big enough to understand. It want to self express from that moment. You see little children, they're all trying to self express. And that gets a little bit robbed or taken away from us as we continue to experience life. The goal is that you are aware of those things that are taking the center stage, like we were talking on a few videos past. If you haven't watched that, go check it out. Live camera action. It's a great, one of my favorite videos so far. It's so good. Not because I did it, but I just love the information in it. I watched it a couple times while I was editing and stuff. I watched the videos a couple times before they come out. So why you want to continue to become aware so that your individuality comes to the surface, so that the true you is expressed. Because if you're not aware of who's doing what around you, meaning person, situation, emotion, whatever it is, how can you change it? How can you be okay with it? First of all, because the first step is accept it. That's where I'm at. That's the ground where I stand on, right? But how can you change it? How can you change that relationship or that thought or that emotion or that addiction if you're not aware of it? Right? So awareness is huge. Just as important as having the courage to look at it. And then just as important as accepting it. And then, which is going to be one of the upcoming videos, having fun with the changing or the replacing of thought process. I am so excited about this. This series is a product of my own journey, and I want you to get something out of it. So please like, share, comment. If you see the hype button in this video, hit it for your boy. Help out a little bit and pushing the channel so that more people can really see what we talk about here. I was talking to my boy yesterday, and he's like, I'm not that scared anymore. I'm not that afraid anymore of any system, because he realized through awareness, through paying attention, that he said, what could they do to me? Like, I choose what I do, and then they got to deal with it because they haven't done anything to him. He said, I'm still here. They haven't killed me. They haven't taken me to jail. I'm here. So through awareness, he's finding liberation in his own mind. The same thing happened to me. The same thing is happening to you. That's why you are at BamHekTV, because that is what I focus on. The bulk of the content in this channel is about attaining your freedom, the freedom to your soul. Like I am right now, as we speak, I am studying on how to attain my financial freedom and working on that. Because there's a lot of components on earth. There's a lot of things that you have to tend to, right? Here on earth. It's about your freedom, the main thing. I'm giving you little bits and pieces, such as awareness, which is what we're talking about today, on attaining your mental freedom, your spiritual freedom, your physical freedom. We can use it for our finances too. Awareness. If you don't do a budget, if you don't track where your money's going, if you don't understand your financial life, like for example, I got a huge bill for water, power, because in my town they charge it all together. But in my mind, it's too much. And I'm there taking a hot shower, and I'm like, awareness kicked in. It's like, dang, like, that bill, that huge bill is coming. So I had already been there for a substantial amount. So I just got out, finished rinsing off, and got out, because you have to be aware of where, if you want to fix your financial life, you got to be aware of where your money's going, right? If you want to become free from the relationship that you know you're not free from, your relationship with people, your relationship with an emotion, right? Because we relate to these emotions. We become familiar and related to this emotion, so they become almost like people in our lives, right? So in order for us to deal with these relationships that we have with people, with places, with emotions, we have to pay attention, right? We have to pay attention. So be aware of your surroundings, the people around you. That's a huge one. Be aware of the people around you. Listen to what they're telling you with their actions. I'm tired of you telling me that you're gonna do this or you're gonna do that. I see that you just not gonna do it. So if I don't get to watch you do it, then I believe you. A lot of times we give the benefit of the doubt to people that's proven themselves time and time again. My father, friend of mine, I don't know if it was my father, but one of them, my father or a dude friend of mine, told me, when someone show you who they are, believe them. People can change. I'm not telling you that people can't change, but the fact is that I observed, and you probably observed, change takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, right? It takes a lot of dedication. You probably have struggled with change, same as me. So when someone around you continue to act in the same way with you, are they truly changing? Do they really care about you? So you got to make that call for yourself, but all of it comes through awareness. All of it comes through understanding the people around you. It's not hard. Once you get it in the swing of it, like I told you, you'll start thinking out loud about people, about situations. I promise you, it's been happening to me lately where I truly can hear what my brain is telling me about this person, but it's not like a string of thoughts that just get lost. No, awareness is kicking in heavily. Like, I know, I understand exactly what my brain is telling me about this situation, about this person. It's not part of a string of thoughts, but it's like it pops up. That specific way of me reasoning is like in the forethought. And I love that. I love that because I created that. I created that in my life. I decided that I wanted to be aware. And I started responding because a lot of it is intuition, right? That's inside of us. And because we don't practice listening to ourselves and believing what we're saying, it goes dormant. But when you start paying attention, being aware, listening to your inner wisdom, right? You can do it too. We're here to do it, right? Listening to your inner wisdom, your intuition, your greater self, the smartest mind that exists, right? The greatest mind that exists, your intuition, the greater part of you. When you start listening to that, whoo, if that's not awareness, I don't know what is, because that part of you is attached to everything on earth. It's outside of the constraints of the brain. The mind of that mind is outside of the constraints of the physical body. That's the one that connects you to your soul and to your spirit, right? So becoming aware is in fact a very important step in your liberation, because you'll realize that there's a part of you that is already free, and I want to have more access to that at all times. So you begin listening, paying attention to the clues, like like paying attention to your surroundings, right? Right? I want to know what's around me. I hope that this helped. If no one told you today that they love you, I love you.